Okay, so I was at the rifle range here at the gun club, and there's a couple ponds in the back, and I'm the only one that really hits them. They're pretty sizey. And I came out one day and I noticed a little hole in the bushes. And I kind of seen the shimmer of water, because where we're at right now, you can't see it from the road. You can't see water unless you know this is here. I parked and I came down and looked, and a bass about this long swam right by me, just like a walk in the park. I said, well, I'm gonna come back and catch him off guard. And I'm a daytime guy. I work nights, and if I fish or shoot, it's in the daylight hours. I said, I'll catch him off guard and come in here and I'll get that big boy. I went home, got up at 4 in the morning, because I work nights. You're up all night, 7 days a week, even when you're not working. So I drove over here, parked in the grass where we just parked, started coming down the hill, and I slid all the way down to the water's edge right here. And it was a little different. It was had more of a hump in this entrance trail here. I slid all the way down to the water, made a bunch of racket, dropped my tackle box pole. I got up, shook my leg off, and I kept hearing rustling. And it's like a coon or a small animal or a deer. They're not going to rustle for a long period of time. They're going to leave. It's not that hard. So I got up and I started casting. I started casting this way. And it's dark. And there's fog 4 feet off of the water, but you couldn't see the sky really. But patches of moonlight were coming through, and I thought, man, this is like a movie. This is beautiful, man. Right here, 15 yards, something started chattering to something behind me. I didn't even know there was a ledge there at that time. And it started making noises, and owl noises, raccoon noises, bird whistles, that when you're 15 yards away, you know it's not a bird. I mean, just about anybody has that discernment. A bird doesn't make 5 different bird noises either, different kinds of birds, right? So I'm listening to him. I cast over here and something like kind of twitched when my bass plug hit right here at this bank. I couldn't make it out. The tree that was standing there, it's now gone. I think that's it right there in the water. And I was listening to them, and they kept carrying on, getting more intense. And I just listened with my left ear and my right ear. They were using a dialect, saying very different stuff. And then, I mean, like, and grunts and stuff. I'm like, it's not a deer. We don't have bear. So I casted. I was a prominent member of the gun club here for a long time at that time. I started saying, hey. I left that out of our original interview, and it was like not reacting. Then I started seeing the bush shaking, and like he was plucking, something was plucking, reaching out over the water and plucking this side of the bush. We're not big enough to do that. Andre the Giant's not big enough to do that. And I'm hearing them chatter and I mean, making some obvious noises that's not an animal that we know of. So I reeling in, I'm already ready to go. I got a wet foot. I'm not liking what I'm seeing or hearing. They're not reacting to me. I took my reel and I cast it as hard as I could at the base of the bank on the other side, and it splashed water up on it. I kept seeing it and seeing a patch of fur move, and it looks exactly like it did then. I don't know how much nature changes when you're, in 20 years. It looks exactly like it did then. So I splashed water from my plug up on its face, and it looked like a man. The silhouette, shoulders and a head right there in that little opening right there. Then within 5 minutes, they were chattering. I'm like, okay, that thing is making the noise and is talking to one, and there seems like there's something behind me that's answering it. I reeled my reel in. I cast it this way a couple times, and it was watching me reel my lure in. I had a topwater. and it's 4:30 in the morning. The moon came through and I seen it turn sideways, facing me. I seen its face and its chest and its upper body. And where it is, that's too big to be any human on this earth. Its chest and body was 6 feet in the air. Its chest. It was reaching out and stuffing these flowers, looks like they've already fallen off, stuffing his mouth full like he didn't even care. But I'm kind of in shock. I started kind of shaking. I'm like, okay, I just made positive eye contact with a Bigfoot. Definitely, 100%. There's no doubt. It had long hair that blended in with its body hair. And I couldn't make it out till it turned towards me and the moon just lit up its face like you put a flashlight on it. And they kept chattering behind me, and little rocks and debris were coming down. I knew something was moving the dirt behind me. So I said, okay, I cast it. I said, one more time. I'm going to make positive ID. I cast it over. It splashed water up on it, and it twitched. It didn't like it. It pissed it off. The second time, it was pissed. Looked at me, looked at my lure, and went, It's like, I could see its eyes, just like I could see your eyes if you were standing right there. If I'm sitting here and there's a light on your face, I could see its eyes. It was following my lure back in. Then it looked at me. Then it looked at my lure. Then it looked back at me. And I'm like, okay, I think I rolled the dice one too many times. I slowly reached right here, man. Grabbed my tackle box and my pole and started going up the hill. And I'm trying to get away from it. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't trying to have an encounter. I already started shaking. I'm kind of shaking now. It's been over 20 years since I stood right here. I can't believe it. I started going back up this muddy hill because it was so foggy, and that makes it worse. You can't see very far, but something close, you can see very good. I started going back up the hill, and I slipped and fell. I'm like, well, I gotta get out of here. There's no doubt. I left the tackle box and the pole, started grabbing roots, and those roots are still visible up the trail. About 3/4 of the way up the trail, I fell flat on my face on my right side. I laid there a minute. The mud was cold. I'm like, I heard rustling to my right there on that ledge. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I have to look. You have to look. It's not threatening to glance over. I was terrified. I didn't want to look. But I wanted to see, I don't want a coon running out across my face or something. I looked to my right, 4 of them standing right there. A large, kind of heavy, bigger than me. I'm 5'10", looked like to be a female. Another small one she was holding, and 2 little, maybe my size. 1 6 foot, 1 5 foot. And I thought in my peripheral vision, and since it's covered by brush, it had like a complete canopy of brush. It still is. It's still there. Right there. You see that? Mm-hmm. I was like, right there. That's weird, dude. 20 years. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
My heart's pounding.
So this encounter happened in Indiana in 1997 in the month of July.
Yep.
And you're laying on your side, you just fell down, and you look over and you see the clan of Sasquatch. Why do you think they were there?
You said how pretty it is. Hear the birds. Hear quiet. It's safe. It's the first time in 15 years that I had came down here. So would we see a piece of styrofoam that's disintegrated on the ground? It doesn't get visited very much. I don't know what would beat that trail down like that. It wasn't like that when I came here. It's awful clear now. Nobody comes here. They're over there shooting their shotguns. You know what I mean? They don't care. None of them fish, because I would have seen them over the years. But when the wind, I thought it was like a bush that was teetering in the wind, and they kind of leaned in together. I'm like, that's not a natural movement of a bush or a leaf or a brush. And they kind of start wavering like this, and then they stop, and then they do it again. Then they kind of not go the same direction. I'm like, okay. Then I focused. I looked directly at him for about a minute because I'm like, well, they're 10 feet away from me and I can jump up, but it was muddy. I'm like, I'm kind of stuck for a couple of seconds. I'm like, I couldn't even get up on my knees. That's how slick and how steep this was. It's washed down quite a bit, but the roots that I grabbed are still sticking out of the dirt up there. And I was panicking. I'm not going to lie. I was shaking bad, wanting to leave. And I got up, made it to my car. Rest is history. I wish I didn't have to see that. I wished I didn't see that. You know, I've told you that. I wished I didn't. It's interesting to study it and learn. I watch a lot of, witness videos.
Okay, so when you first got here, the first red flag was like the whistle and the chirping. What do the whistles sound like?
Like,
Was it high pitched?
yeah, and just other whistles that can't possibly be the same bird.
Okay.
You hear that bird over there? He's doing the same noise. He's not making a plethora of noises.
So it sounded like a real bird. It didn't sound like a human whistle. Like a.
If you were to yell in here, it kind of echoes back. The walls are rock. You'll get an echo in this little area if you yell. And the owl noises, that's so common. From after this, watching so many videos and people say, well, it started with an owl noise that I know wasn't an owl.
The Sierra sounds with Ron Moorhead, that's how it started off.
Yeah.
It was just like a.
Did they do that?
Yeah, that's
I'm not
the
even,
audio starts off that way, and then it
that.
just carries out from there.
Can't study wildlife in a cage.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
How do you think that's going to go? It's going to happen, isn't it?
It's probably already happened. These things probably die in captivity, similar to like great white sharks. They don't last very long. So after you heard the whistles, you heard this chirping that you kind of thought maybe it could have been a raccoon or some type of critter. And then, was it a splash that you heard, or did you see it?
No, when I seen it, when I splashed it with my plug and it turned sideways, there's no doubt. I know what I saw. We don't have bears.
Mm-hmm.
It was too high off the ground. There's the actual bush that it was eating from.
Okay.
I'm very happy that it's still there. It's still growing. It's still right by the water. I mean,
Yeah.
Bushes don't move usually.
So these things are definitely plant eaters. They're omnivores. I mean, they eat meat, but they also eat plants. And was it eating the leaves? Did it have flowers at the time?
Yeah, it was. They were orange and white, that bush, and it was grabbing a whole limb, and I'd see the limb bow, and it would strip everything that was on that limb off, and stuffing it in his mouth, and it was hanging out of its mouth while it was looking at me, just like your eyes are looking at me. I looked it dead in the eye. I'm like, oh my God, man, that has skin on its face, like just like if we would never get a haircut and shave in our life. That's what the face looked like a gorilla, but kind of flat and not long like a gorilla, kind of round faced, like most of us are round faced, Had dark hair on its body. It was thick and matted, and it blended in with the tree. I think look where that tree is. See how that has to be the tree that was behind it that gave me that contrast. And the fog was swirling. It looked like something out of a movie. The fog was swirling in here about 4 feet off the water and kind of rising. It was 4:30 in the morning, and the moon shot it right across its chest, like it took this much of a step, and it illuminated its chest and its body, and it turned towards me. There's no doubt. It had shoulders about this wide.
So about 3.5 feet, maybe to 4, 3 to 4 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was scare me to death.
That was the male, correct?
I'm guessing, yeah, because it was telling them, stay put. It was like barking at, and it was chattering. There's no way to leave that ledge and go up this trail without me I already made perfect eye contact with it. I guess it was telling the group to stay put, and deeming that it kept saying something over and over. Could be that it's me, because for the first time in 15 years, I didn't have an AR. I wasn't shooting at the rifle range. I had a fishing pole, and it was kind of watching me. And it scared me to death. I'm getting scared just talking about it, and knowing that, I mean, what do you think? They have travel routes where they return to an area? I don't get it, but
yeah, it looks like there's some tracks there. So you intentionally splashed this creature to try to get its attention?
Twice.
And
I wished I didn't do
did it kind of ignore you at first? The second time it acknowledged you. Like,
yeah, the first time it splashed it, and I seen that it splashed its face, because the foliage wasn't really full. I could see, but there was them little juniper flowers, whatever they are. And the second time, I just did it out of meanness. I looked over my shoulder and said, well, I'm pretty sure I can make it out of here. I'm going to do it. Zoop, bop. And it didn't like it. And then it turned sideways and looked at me. Kind of, don't piss them off. That's not a good idea to purposely piss them off. That was stupid. I'm a wildlife guy. Don't piss off animal. A deer will kick your face in. You know what I mean? But
so they felt
right
comfortable with you if it revealed itself, and you guys were kind of coexisting together, because you're fishing at the pond and he's like, hey, you mind your own business, I'll mind my own business. I'm just here to get some leaves, some flowers. I'm hungry and I got my family, and you're obviously trying to do the same thing. So it was able to relate with you in a sense. You're trying to catch some fish, it's trying to get some herbs in its body. But that's pretty cool, because it didn't charge through the water and try to get you. It was just hanging out. But yeah, like you said, if it wanted to, it probably could have. And what else could you remember about the creature? Did it have a conical shaped head? You said it was like a round face.
It had long hair covering that, so I couldn't tell. But the hair kind of moved, and it blended in with its body, so I couldn't see its.
You can tell what color it was.
Yeah, I think it was like its neck had hair, and like, imagine if you never had a haircut or never shaved in your life. But the same color of hair on its head and its body and its face, long mustache, and it was stuffing the flowers in. And once it was chewing, I could hear it chewing. Look how close that is. I could hear it chomping like a cow. You can hear it chomping 10 feet away. And I looked to my right and I looked back, and it was looking at me again. I said, okay, I need to go. Do you see that underneath that area over here? See how it's kind of hollowed out?
Yeah, I see that.
No one would ever disturb you.
Yeah.
I've never walked around behind this one, but I've been behind the lakes in the back. And I just I can't say that I've jumped them back here like you jump a deer. You go into its area, it jumps up and runs off. But they get really loud and smash through the woods like I hear people describe. If you catch them off guard or walk into the woods, I'm no expert, but they're going to get away. They're going to crash through the woods. I'm sure you've seen as much of that. You travel doing this. I just had it happen once, you know.
Yeah. And
you see the bank where it's like clear on the other side?
Something slid down there.
What's doing it?
And in this conservation area, there's like a system of ponds and lakes, correct?
Yeah.
And it's protected. People don't live in here.
Nope.
Yeah. So it makes sense why I'd want to be here. And you were here because you saw a giant bass. So it definitely has fish. And this area sounds like a travel corridor and an area where they gather food. And I think during that time in July, there were certain plants, medicinal plants probably, that were growing here, and they needed it to survive, and it exposed itself to you. And I know what you're talking about, like at nighttime when the moon's lit up, you can definitely see it's like a light bulb's turned on at night. Could you see any eye shine?
I seen its eyeballs just like you're looking at mine right now. I wear contacts. I don't usually wear glasses. And I wore them for 30 years. And for shooting, they gave me 20/15 vision. So I have exquisite long-range vision. It's 20/15, a little better in 20/20. I needed no help or no light. I saw its eyes and its face. like bigger eyeballs than a human, way bigger. I don't know, maybe the size of a cow, like a good 2-inch, you know, and I could see it very clearly. I could see which direction it was looking. It was watching my plug, going like this, chewing, chomping. I'm like, man, this guy, and plucking. After about 2 minutes, when I was casting and splashing it, it wasn't being quiet anymore. It was reaching out and just plucking that bush clean. I mean, it was like getting loud, and I could hear it pick up and put down its feet. I can't hear your feet, you know what I mean? I know it's either a horse standing on its hind legs or I need to leave.
Oh, yeah. And as far as the family group that you saw over here on your side, what did they look like? How many did you see?
4.
4? Okay, and was there 2 juveniles, like 2 little ones?
The adult, one 6 foot, maybe one 5 foot, and the little one, she was like nestling.
Okay. Wow. And what did they look like? How well could you see them?
Good enough because the moon and the fog was clearing, and I got the same effect right there on that ledge. Just like a woman with long hair all over her body. She was kind of a little heavy set, but just kind of muscular. And the other ones looked just like them, the smaller version, just like a mom and 3 kids. That I'm not used to that. I don't know what to think about that. Do you? I mean,
No, that's pretty cool. I interviewed a guy from Swedenborg, Missouri that was fishing, and he saw the family group. Same situation as yourself, but when he came around the corner, he ran into the mother, and she had the little one right next to her, and the little one, its eyes kind of bulged open. They were both surprised, and when the mother saw him, she went, like she was shocked. Well, when he left, because that freaked him out, and he said when he was leaving, this huge male paralleled him all the way out of there, and it was throwing logs at him. I mean, they were hitting him, and he just tried everything he could to get out of there. But same situation as you, ran into a family group while fishing, which these things are found by water. They always follow water, whether it's a creek, a pond, a lake, a river, a spring. And it makes sense why they're here. And there's definitely a lot of vegetation that grows by the waterways, but I would think that's the reason. I think when you fell, they checked you out, like they were interested. Like, oh no, he fell. What's he gonna do next?
yeah, when I splatter, I heard the rustling like that's 5 yards. You asked me in the original, I said, hey dude, is it feet? You know, it was a couple feet, 10, 15 yards. The way they wobbled like this, they're trying to camouflage so you look like those leaves over there rustling in a light breeze. But there was no breeze at all. There's nothing in here right now, you see it?
Yeah. When it's foggy, it's dead still quiet.
And then they leaned together, and it looked like a black blob till like my eyes, and a good minute I stared at it. Then I seen it was 4 separate shapes. I could see where their fur came apart, and one of them kind of wobbled this way and the other ones wobbled that way. And I said, that's not a tree stump either. And then I got some moonlight. It was just a couple minutes. I had already seen enough with this guy, seen way more than enough, but I couldn't get out. And I was already in panic mode before I realized I could be trapped until the mud dries. I started grabbing roots, and I got out. I don't know how I did. But this is washed out quite a bit. But the way they wobble in the breeze, when there's no breeze, I mean, like, if you look around, see how there's no breeze? But up there, the leaves are rustling. There was no reason for a big, large black object to be doing it. I gave my eyes a minute to focus. I seen it just like I seen this one, because the moon was right here. And it's going right, all that canopy, some of it was there, but once I gave my eyes a minute and I saw it, I was like, you don't want to jump and scream and act, frantic. So I didn't freak them out, but the way they closed in to the female, they were definitely afraid of me, because I saw them all humped together when I turn my head.
And you yelled at the one over here across the pond, right?
Yeah, I didn't mention that the first time because I didn't want to say foul language, but I gave it a piece of my mind trying to get whoever it was to either break or leave. But it was 4 a.m. That's not normal. Trespassers around here, they're too lazy to do anything at 4 a.m. They're not going to be on the other side of a pond in a gun club at 4 a.m. It's just not likely. It could happen, but no. And it wasn't responding to me, my English words, cussing it out, telling it to get the heck out. It wasn't responding. Any person on the planet is going to respond to a person talking or yelling or threatening them. You're going to respond. It just kept stuffing them flowers in its mouth. I'm like, then I got it to look at me with splashing. I wish I didn't splash it. I don't advise anyone to ever aggravate one or throw anything. Don't. That's a sign of aggression. Throw a rock. Throw a rock at a tiger. See what happens. Right? That's a sign of, it's common sense if you go in the woods. I've been in the woods 35 years, more than I have not been hunting. I've been in the woods. I know a lot. It's just go, relax. I mean, if you carry a sidearm for your own protection, don't act like you're in charge of that, because they're 5 times your size and body weight. And you know, they live there every day. They're very quiet. It's just common sense. Have respect for the wildlife, right?
Yeah, he was letting you know this is my territory because he said, "Hey, I know you're over there. Get the heck out!" Or, yeah, yeah, pretty much. He's like, "You're on my land. You're on my terms as well." Okay.
I've been too terrified to come down here. I'll admit it, dude. I told you when we got out of the car, I'm like, man, I'm not scared of anything. It's been in my mind for 20 years, and here we are again. And yeah, I don't know.
It's incredible, though. You ran into a family group of Sasquatch. Most people don't get to see that. What have you heard from locals in the area? Have you heard anyone mention these creatures or have stories of their own? Or do you typically get the response of, there's just not enough woods around here? Or do you get both?
We just drove by it. There's a pipe fitters union campground. It's locked every day unless someone goes there, and it's not like they do. People have told me, hey, don't go camping there. I'm like, why? They're like, there's something in there. I already know. They had to explain no more. All this is connected. And if you Google Earth it and look at it, it's all connected to an area. Before you leave, I'll show you something real pretty, real nice. It's worth it. It's worth 10 minutes of your time.
Okay.
But this is connected with, and they don't have to tell me any more information. Hey, don't go in there. There's something in there you don't want to see.
Yeah. You're like, I know.
How'd you know these were all connected by like a tier system? This one drains into the side one drains into 2 in the back. How'd you know that? Did you Google Earth it? You did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that till I saw a drain when we were walking over here. That right through there's a little drain. It's paradise, though. You could pick any one of them trees. See that little island thing? No one ever bother you there. You have to have food, though. You got water. Dude, I'm not stupid. I'm not trying to get a disease, but I'll swish away that moss and drink that water just like you would Evian drinking water. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to get sick. I've done it before. You never been out in the woods and find a little stream and drink? Of course you have. I mean, if you're dying of thirst.
Yeah. What do you think these creatures are, these beings?
Well, from our little talk earlier, I mean, not everything intelligent is related to a human. I don't know the biogenetics of it. But it's very possible, because a lot of people are skeptics until there's concrete evidence, and that's half the planet, really, of people. but it's very, very possible that groups of these animals can live in America undetected. We just drove 30 minutes through undeveloped woods and creeks and ponds that, unless someone proves it, that you can't say they've ever been back there. I hunt coyotes so much that old men tell me, go for it, you can go to the next county road too. And it took me 2 days to get through the woods. Just calling, do another stand, move 100 yards, do a stand. And a lot of landowners don't realize what wildlife is living right behind their house in the woods. They have no idea this, you know. So how could you have an idea about a highly elusive, highly intelligent animal that is the color of every tree in the woods, right? That's the color that I would describe. Look at a tree in the distance. That's the color you see, especially with any shade in there. We don't have the eyes to pick up on. If it's standing still, you're going to walk by it. If it doesn't make a noise, there's been times when I felt something funny and I just wanted to leave. And I do. I have no trouble leaving woods that I feel something else is in, or something's bigger than me or more intelligent than me.
Have you had any other experiences in areas around here?
Yeah, that one. We'll go look.
What happened there?
We'll go look. I hunt coyotes, and I would come here. I work nights. I'd come here after 8 in the morning, shoot a 3-round group, unload my gear, put on my gear, drive 3 miles up this road where we just turned. It's through the, I'll show you. And I have a lot of places in there where I call stands, where I would go and I rotate them. I shot 130 coyotes in my first season here. 130 coyotes at this place. And they get hip after a while. You knock down the numbers and you just got to change your tactics. Well, I started seeing stuff, and like what I think was the one on the ledge here, the male that was 6 foot tall. Over the next year, it grew about a foot because he's the same color, and I seen him. See, that's nothing. That's not monsters in here. Yeah. Well, that's going to keep you from getting anything out there. But I'll walk out on there and fish. You know, I like that, dude. I like catching fish.
It was a huge splash. Had it been a big bass.
Oh no, they'll come up and go pow and scare you like right there. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of fun stuff here. I love it. But I had camera rigs on my optics on my rifle. Never once did I ever think. One time I thought, well, I could end the debate right now, because I had it in my glass and I took some pictures, and probably 100 yards even, and it was coming quite frequently, almost every time that I would go and do a little coyote call and sit. Sometimes I would go coyote hunting just for peace and quiet like this. I would just sit, and in the winter when the snow was deep, and I watched it and watched it. It didn't come every time because I go every day, but most of the time I would hear clump, clump, clump. I don't know how something with that big of feet, you know, if they stand still, they're going to be silent. But me being a coyote hunter 35 years, you're not sneaking up on me, dude. No, I'm going to hear or see or feel. So you ever hear people say, I felt like something was watching me? Of course you do. That's what, I mean, you have those senses for a reason. You use them for hunting, and my senses were so heightened that I kind of lived the rest of my life like that, because if I go for a walk in the woods, I'm just strolling. Just be relaxed. You know, if you carry, that's your right. You should. But if you got a big rifle, which I've done with the coyote hunting and the hiking 5 miles from a road, like we were talking earlier, that's kind of dangerous. I had a flip phone with half a bar. You know what I mean? If you injure yourself or fall, that could be the end. Remember I told you, if I were to fall here, they might find some bleached out bones on the bank, but what? You don't want to. It really smart. Take someone with you, right? Always. You're safer. There's snakes. Indiana don't have real bad snakes, but I hate snakes. I just don't. I don't want to get bit. This is usually full of berries, like in the spring and the summer. I'll reach over and pick a gob of them and eat them, you know. So I know it's pretty. What do you think it could? You know, it's a sub-rural area, but like if an owl blasts off 10 feet from you, you know it's not an owl. Are they trying to tell you without scaring you? Because if you go to someone's house, open the door and scream, that's frightening. That's why I was asking you about calling and stuff. That might, like, calling coyotes, if you call real loud, you do what's called blow them away. Instinct, they're gone. Whereas if you started softer, you might be announcing your presence. You don't have to scare them or come across as aggressive. I don't know. I wish we had a book on their language of what we understand so far. Mm-hmm. Your buddy's pretty knowledgeable about how they communicate, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he's a bookworm and he's done a lot of research. It's the same way with like calling bucks, and like you don't want to start grunting real loud.
You know that.
Start
yeah.
softly grunting and see what
out,
happens. Right? Wait a little while and then do it again. And then if nothing comes in, then you can grunt a little bit louder, pretty loud. But yeah, it makes sense with coyotes as well. You start off super loud, it might just push them away. So maybe it's the same way with the Sasquatch.
Do females like do the scream?
I think so. I think they can all do the scream.
Do you think that's just for distance communication? I'm really interested. I'm wondering.
I think it's when they're ticked off.
When they're mad?
Yeah, territorial sort of thing. Get out of my area.
You think so? Like when people show up, that's why they hear it so much?
Yeah, I think so. They're trying to scare them out. Like, get out.
People never do they? They
Sometimes,
go poking around?
Yeah, some people do go poking around, but for a general rule of thumb, most people just get out.
Do you poke around?
Yeah.
What's a threat? A real loud train scream is lion roar thing?
Yeah, it just sounds like a lot of people said, like a woman being tortured, but with this monstrous velocity or volume.
So you leave when you hear that? You think it's
it depends. Warning? If it's like during the day, I don't, but when it's at nighttime, it's like, hell no, I'm not going in there.
Have you heard the long ooh? That's not an aggressive sound.
I haven't heard that.
Think that's a breeding call?
I don't know, like the Ohio man call, though. Yeah, I have not heard that one.
It's loud, but it's not an aggressive noise.
I feel like they're locating each other. I mean, why do wolves do that howl? Are they looking for each other? Are they like barking at the moon? What's the purpose behind it? I haven't done too much research on wolves, but I feel like Sasquatch would possibly do the same thing. Almost like when turkeys roost up in a tree and in the morning time, they all start calling to each other and fly down and group up.
I was listening to a podcast and a guy was like, well, what do you mean humans aren't a threat to them? And the guy's like, well, no one's killed one yet. Obviously if I gave you a rifle, a 300 Win mag, if you can't get a bead on him, you're no threat to him. Mm-hmm. He must know. How do so many, in Indiana, over 200,000 armed hunters take to the woods every year, deer season? They're avoiding us somehow because they're here.
Oh yeah.
Do you think they're in every state in the United States? Of course.
I would say almost every
Except
state,
for
other
desert
than
states
like
or
Hawaii.
something.
I mean, there's even been strange reports from Hawaii, but it's not common. There's even been reports from like Kansas, but again, it's not common. But for the most part, yeah, almost every state. I mean, even at the Skinwalker Ranch, it kind of seemed like desert out there. People have claimed to see Sasquatch out there and other cryptid creatures. Where the heck would they hide? Unless they're like belly crawling or crawling like spiders, hyper speed. But there's a lot more to it as well.
I've never heard these guys scream. After 4 or 5 times, it's like seeing the same little doe in the same area. You pay it no mind. And I was not comfortable. And they keep an eye on me at the Chinook. Mm-hmm. They kept an eye on me, but they weren't worried about me or their safety with me. Because I go there, I sit up. Sometimes I take a nap with 2 feet of snow on the ground with my bodysuits. And if you can, camo helps you be unnoticed. It's just, I mean, if someone walks in a convenience store and they're being suspicious, you can tell by body language. That's common sense, right? If they're acting funny or being suspicious, everybody has that. Just be relaxed. We're lucky enough to just walk up and look on the ground. I don't know I'll ever come down here ever again. I mean, I'm 54, life takes changes. I got projects going. I got a lot of music projects going.
So you haven't been here since the encounter?
No.
Okay.
I got my pole about 2 months, my tackle box. I couldn't believe it. That's why I never know where it comes. The pole and tackle box is laying right there.
Wow, it was still here.
Yeah. Huh? I came and got him. I'm like, I don't feel, can you tell I don't feel good? Oh, I slapped my.
No, you're fine.
Can you tell I don't feel good? I'm shaking. I don't care though. We're here. It's pretty.
I don't know what that was. Something fell in the water, something splashed in the water. Definitely a spooky area.
Well, you said that. Why? It's beautiful. It's calm. Why is it spooky?
It just feels like their eyeballs all over the place watching.
You
You just get the feeling of being watched.
really?
I can't imagine what it was like
From
early
where?
in the morning.
Use your face as a radar.
Boom. I mean, just kind of all around us.
You think so?
I'm not for sure, but it's just a feeling I get.